Welcome to episode 6 of Thoth Reacts. I'm your boy, THT, Tahuti Hermes Trismegistus, and you are tapping in to the root of the symmetry and tuning in to the mind of Mercury for a very special reaction episode. Today, we got our guy, the world's most beloved man, I'm pretty sure. This is the most charismatic man in existence. If there is anyone that Hermes can advocate is more charismatic than him, it would truly be this man right here. So, shout out the guy who made Facebook possible. We are reacting to Facebook changing their name to Meta and using them changing their name into Meta to springboard this whole metaverse thing. So shout out the most charismatic man in the universe, Mark Zuckerberg, for being here to very charmingly share with us how amazing this metaverse is going to be. How is this metaverse going to solve climate change? How are we going to make sure that everyone is able to connect and harmonize in the way that they individually deserve to? How are we going to make sure that genocide is not being perpetrated throughout this planet anymore? How are we going to make sure that we're cleaning up all the trash and plastic and all the garbage and all of this industrial waste that is constantly produced by all these tech companies? I'm really excited to see how the metaverse actually solves real world problems instead of creating more of them. Let's see if he covers that, the most charismatic man in the world. Before we get into this, of course, let's simmer some trees. Because this is actually like what I'm here for, is virtual reality. As Chase Clarence Calloway, I'm back as Tahuti. I'm back as Chase Clarence Calloway based on how I've written about how I'm going to come back in my Emerald Tablets. And in my Emerald Tablets, I basically just talk about the time we're in right now, where white supremacist tech companies, organizations that are constantly using fire to transform the environment are single-handedly supporting, not just supporting, but perpetrating the genocide of indigenous peoples, perpetrating climate change, and getting everyone who connects with them to support that. So everyone who believes that money matters is supporting the genocide of indigenous peoples. Everyone who then believes that everything that money creates through consuming what indigenous peoples has already created is advancement, is very much supporting and making the spur of climate change and all atrocities possible, basically. Because we're just talking about the fact that even all the metals in our phones, all the metals in this technology that these white supremacists want to keep creating so that they can look great is only stolen from indigenous peoples. Just like Marvel has to say that Captain America's shield, that is like the whole symbol of American freedom and defense, and he uses it all the time, it's only awesome because it's a material that they stole from Africa. So all of these technologies are only possible because of the rape and systemic genocide that tech companies and white supremacist governments have spread to indigenous lands. And all this technology, all this metaverse stuff that we're going to be projecting our consciousness into, like Black Mirror, is only created from stolen resources. It's only created from using fire to transform indigenous peoples and burn them up so that you can kill them and make everything that they've created serve you. So this is why I'm here. This metaverse stuff, this whole virtual reality thing, just the whole idea of spirits being taught that they are light so that the people who taught them that they are light can give them technology that allows them to feel like they live forever is why I'm here speaking English now. Because I have to share my properties of hermeticism and simicism and everything that I organically am as Mercury in this time, so that people who don't want to get lost in white supremacy don't have their souls trapped by virtual reality, like Black Mirror. Because it takes these white supremacists going out of their way to destroy indigenous cultures and consume all of our resources so that they can steal everything we've created and turn it into something that they can say they've created, to then be able to trap us on the thing that they have made from consuming our creations. So now, because they're using their individual fire to transform what we've already built into something that serves them, then they can weaponize our vibration against us. And that's the whole thing with spiritual warfare in general. So we're going to see here the most charismatic man in the world, Sir Zuck, really focusing on how important it is that spirits connect. And we're going to see how Facebook weaponizes the spirituality of the fact being we create life because we want to connect into something that serves them. It makes me so upset that people don't care about climate and the environment, and they don't care about how all this technology is poisonous to the environment and it's created from stolen resources. And the only reason that you would worship it is because you don't care that it was created from stolen resources. The only reason you would think that this guy is actually smart or that any of these corporations are intelligent in any way is because you literally don't care about the historical fact that these are all actually very unintelligent people just colonizing and cannibalizing what intelligent indigenous peoples created. And now they're just weaponizing all the stuff that intelligent indigenous peoples created to enslave indigenous peoples, to enslave individuals, so that instead of us going in to our own space, we'll go into their virtual reality. And their virtual reality is causing climate change. Their virtual reality is burning up the environment that we're already creating so that we can connect. Because they want to make money making us connect in their way. So we're creating nature here with our elements so we can connect. Here we are. Whoa, that's so beautiful. But a corporation wants to make us believe that we're not creating nature, so that now they'll make us create their nature, which looks like them teaching us that, oh, you can come hang out not in the simulation you're already creating, but in a simulation that we're creating from consuming the simulation that you're creating. And if you could just focus on the simulation that we're creating from consuming the simulation that you're creating, that would be great. Because then you'll use your ability to create the simulation that we're consuming to create ours. And that's what we want. So here's Facebook changing their name to Meta. And Zuckerberg talking about how they're about to change the world by making us literally separate from our bodies and fully believe that we are the light. Literally just light. All right, just that we are light things. And then they can control these light things and make money and move us and manipulate us, all that. Very fun. Let's go.
It is time for us to adopt a new company brand to encompass everything that we do.
So already right there, he's opening up with, it's time for us to adopt a new company brand, because Facebook has been getting like all these whistleblower allegations, and they're basically just, they were publicly put on blast really hard. Like, it's so weird how alien this is. Like, it's like literally aliens being like, hey, let's see how stupid humans are. Like, let's see how truly actually retarded humans are. Like, let's see if we can literally set up a situation where we explicitly show the entire world that Facebook not only doesn't care about your privacy, but they actually use logic to make it appear like they care about you so that they can sell your information. And all Facebook does, as white supremacists do, as white supremacists do, is use logic to make it appear like they care about you so that they can make you care about them. And the more they can make it appear like they care about you, the more they can make money off of making you actually care about them. So this is what Facebook is doing, where like they've shown explicitly, hey, we don't care about you guys. We just want to make money off of you. Like, that's all we want to do. Like, we want you to plug into our system. We want to watch you. We want to get as much information from you as possible so that we can get it connected to these other companies, these other corporations, and they can make money off of you. And we're going to say that we care about your privacy. We're going to say we care about family. We're going to say that we're a family-friendly company, right? Like, all these apps, these things, they have to weaponize family. They have to weaponize this energy of appearing to care about you so that they can make you care about them. And then they make money the more you care about them. So it's like some weird alien thing. Like, as far as like the aliens just rubbing their hands, like, let's see how stupid humans are. Like, let's literally show all the humans that we are here to enslave them through social media. And then right after that, let's release this lizard gecko man on stage in a press conference or whatever to display how we're going to further trap them in the actual virtual reality that we've been using predictive programming to project through movies and books and TV shows since the Industrial Revolution, because this is the plan. This is why I'm here as Cehuti Trismegistus. When I'm looking on Mercury just at how simulations are playing out, I can see how things are about to play out just based on the waves. So this wave of white supremacy was happening to where I can see and write out, oh, okay, spirits are going to start communicating like this so that this wave is possible like this. And then we're going to start experiencing this kind of life, and this is going to happen. And it's not about like actually seeing the future. It's about being able to predict the future based on the past, because the past used to be the future. So if you watch the past long enough and then you learn about the now and everything, you'll learn how the future is going to play out. And now at some point, when you have seen everything, like, you can perceive like all subconscious patterns. And then that's just where life is, of course, always about learning more. So, you know, here we are learning, interacting with more spaces. But the fact is, everyone is creating life because they feel like connecting with a space outside of themselves. And if you don't have that awareness, then it's easy for Facebook to manipulate you and make you think that this is progress, and make you think that this is actually like a somehow spiritual advancement and technological advancement and societal advancement, to believe that you're the body, and then believe that you need to put your mind on an even more limited body inside of the simulation that you've already made your body inside of. So it's just so funny. Like, it's literally, these aliens are just laughing at all humans. Like, they're just like, yeah, let's see how truly stupid humans are. Because everyone who is down with Facebook after that, like they just don't. Then the fact is, they don't care. And that's like the wisdom here too. Like, people just want to connect. And that's what the whole universe is powered by. Spirits who will connect with by basically any means necessary. And that's where then anything is possible. Anything is possible through connections, right? You can be an individual. You can be seen as an individual once you connect to a collective. Otherwise, you're an individual alone, and you're just everything. And that's God. And that's where God gets sad being alone, because God doesn't feel like it's with other gods.
Reflect who we are and what we hope to build. I am proud to announce that starting today...
I can't. Yo, this dude's wild. Like, this is surreal, actually. This is like literally what they've been making movies about. And it's like the evil tech person who, like, I'm trying to think, like Austin Powers movies, or just in general, like those movies where they have the erratic bad guy. Here we go. Batman v Superman. He's like Lex Luthor, right? Like, the point is, Lex Luthor in Batman v Superman is supposed to be like Mark Zuckerberg or some like that same energy of like the tech billionaire who's like super neurotic and not socially equipped to actually connect with people. Which is then weird, because it's like, why'd you build a social media platform? Is it because you really need it? Or is it because you're actually using other people's desire to connect because you're so disconnected from connecting organically? And that's the whole lizard energy, and being more logical in how one uses light to manipulate how other spirits connect, because your desire to connect is just so logical or so left.
Our company is now Meta. Our mission remains the same. It's still about bringing people together.
Man, our company is now Meta. Our mission is the same. It's still about bringing people together. For what? Like, what's the point in bringing people together? Like, we already come together in the universe. So you wanting to bring people together for what? So you can harvest their energy for your purposes? Like, we need to go further with that. See, like, people aren't like even asking, because
Our apps and their brands, they're not changing either. And we are still the company that designs technology.
how does anyone trust this man? Like, you literally have to be so far away from trusting yourself to possibly look in his eyes, look at his hands, look at his mouth, look at his mannerisms, look at how he's communicating, and think that he's actually here to help you. Like, no way. This gecko, man, like, he literally looks like he's doing his best to camouflage into human society. All I see is a gecko. Like, I can't front with you, and we're only 29 seconds in, and this is a 17-minute video already, and it's just like, I can only see a gecko, man. Like, I only see a lizard who is doing its best to camouflage into human ape society, Homo sapien life.
Around people.
Hold up.
And welcome to science technology around people.
Yo, and like,
They're not changing either. And we are still the company that designs technology around people.
he did not say that we are still the company that designs technology for people. Like, notice, like, white supremacists just communicate their white supremacy. They need to be understood. They're not concerned with building technology for you. What did he say? He wants to build technology not for you.
Still the company that designs technology around people.
Designs technology around people. He doesn't design technology for people. It's not here to support you. It's not here to help you. It's not here to give you anything. It's actually here to contain you. He wants to design the technology around you. Like the second episode of Black Mirror, where you'll just wake up in a box of lights, and these lights are constantly projecting out what he wants you to see, and then you just hop on a bike and you're just constantly pedaling to create energy for the system that's projecting its ideas into you. Because they want to design technology around people in land that they stole from indigenous people. It's literally all in the words. All spirits feel the need to be understood. From everything that I've seen in life, spirits, like, there's no reason for a spirit to create a body and animate itself into existence if it's not going to communicate its internal world to the external. So this is where, if you just listen to people long enough, everyone tells you where they're coming from. Everyone tells you who they are as a spirit, because that's the point of them being in a body. They want to be understood. They want to connect their internal world to others. There's no point in lying if there's no point in lying when you're trying to authentically connect with others. So then that's where, when you do lie, it's showing more of how you want to connect with others. And it's not as authentic, but you're still doing it to connect. And this is where life is a lie. So death is the truth. And the fact that we're in a body, being able to communicate at all, means that we're living a lie. And thus, everything in life only matters because of our connection to ourself. That's our death. So when you die, you're going to connect with yourself, and you're going to realize what mattered and what didn't. So right now in life, you could just connect with yourself. You could die without dying and come back and realize, okay, these things matter and these things don't. And then you're going to focus on that. This guy and just this whole energy, this essence of this tech company wanting to reveal how it has only done horrible things with our information before then just changing their name blatantly and saying that they're going to go even harder with harvesting our minds and plugging us into the matrix, literally. Like they're just presenting the matrix. This is the point of why they've been setting up all the 5G towers and forcing us to stay inside. This is what I wrote about thousands of years ago. The whole point of all of this industrial revolution technology progressing up to this point like this coincidentally, and it all seems organically like happening, is because people want to enslave humans. And it's all about these alien lizard people creating a matrix that can harvest the chi of the indigenous individuals on planet Earth. Hence the Gecko Man being here presenting his technology on how he can plug you into his simulation so that he can make you live the life that he wants. And of course, he has to present it like you can somehow be your true self. How could you possibly be your true self and be more of yourself on a platform you didn't create? Like, that's the whole point of you being alive right now. Like, this body, you being in this natural environment, is you creating the life that allows you to connect with other people who are creating life in a similar way. It's the whole point. So if you're not aware that you're doing that, then of course a corporation like Facebook's going to come along and want to weaponize the fact that you're creating this simulation so that you will build their simulation. And this is literally what it looks like, the metaverse.
Hey, and welcome to...
I can't. What is that? Like, what kind of social game is this? He's a gecko.
That designs technology around people. Hey,
No
and
way.
welcome to Connect. Today, we're going to talk...
Of course, it's literally, the word is connect. Bro, this is why I'm here. Because my life path is too. So they're weaponizing water energy. They need you to connect with their simulation so that they can disconnect you from yourself and your ability to build your own world. And they're causing climate change and enslaving indigenous peoples to do it. And it's just so Luciferian. This is what Lucifer is, by the way. Like Lucifer as an energy, the L is about using love and logic to enslave people so that you can make people connect with you. And the only way you're connecting with them is a way that makes you money. So this is just all Luciferian, where these white supremacists is the same way that they took over all the lands in North, South, and Central America. They have to write treaties, or at least United States, they have to write treaties and appear like they're kind, appear like they're loving, so that they can kill you with kindness. And then jaywalk all in your space.
About the metaverse, starting with the most important experience of all.
I literally, like, how does anyone trust this face? I cannot conceive. And the thing is, I know people don't. But it's like people just don't care about the creators of their platforms, it seems, in this simulation. People just don't really care about the creators of their platforms because, as he says, everyone just wants to connect. Aliens know this. Aliens know that spirits just want to connect. So there's no shortage of aliens in the universe that want to create simulations where they can harvest the energy, harvest the chi of spirits connecting on their system. Like, there's no shortage of aliens that do this and set up hyperlogical technology to be like, okay, we'll make them build up our social media so that we can actually learn how to further sell to them and get them trapped in our system. And it's going to make them feel good because they can all connect with each other. And this is the difference of Hermeticism versus Semitism. So here's Mark Zuckerberg, Gecko Lizard Man, in his Hermetic principles. He's projecting out this imagination. He's projecting out this idea of what he wants life to be. And then we, as the people, we are somatic. We are the water. We react to the fire and then make it real. And then this is how we create air and then earth. So now he's hoping that we will connect somatically, water-wise, to his fire, to his idea, so that we can communicate in a way that actually builds this structure. And it actually builds his idea of the metaverse. And then they can then literally Facebook is more than happy to keep doing what they just got in trouble for, but on a grander scale. And it's only everyone else's fault. Like, they literally set it up so that it's only your fault that they're going to abuse and penetrate your space, just completely defile you, because they've already revealed themselves as being that. So it's all on you if you want to connect with this. So they're doing their best to appear as Luciferian as possible, to appear as loving as possible, to logically appeal to logically appeal to your desires, to logically appear as kind as possible, so that you'll feel good about connecting with them, despite the logic of them literally only having the worst track record ever.
Connecting with people.
God damn. Connecting with people. Gross. Dude, I can't stand this.
Connecting with people.
Okay. Like, this is supposed to be cool. The astral realm is way cooler.
You put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space. It has parts of your
So imagine that you as a spirit, the way that you get to your home space is not by separating your mind from your body and going back to your soul outside the simulation. That's how I go home, right? My home is outside of the universe. No. Instead of you being able to take your mind from your earth, from your body, and go back to your water, back to your soul, which is the more truer expression of your space. So now you can be back in your own feelings, your own soul, your own home. Instead of that, how about you just slave away on a system so that you can eternally pay money for the privilege of being connected to something that allows you to put on a headset and have light projected into your eyes? That's your home now. This is so bogus.
Home recreated virtually. It has things that are only possible virtually, and it has an incredibly inspiring view.
It has things that are only possible virtually. Like, project like his completely limited life and imagination. But oh my god, I cannot. This doesn't look cool. Like, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look fun. And it's definitely because it's him presenting it. And it's definitely because of all the subconscious connections of what Facebook is, despite them changing their name to Meta. And it's like, literally, again, aliens just spitting in the face of humans.
You find most beautiful.
Hey, are you coming?
Yeah, just gotta find something to wear. Alright, perfect.
You picked the same outfit.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
What's up, Mark? Whoa, we're floating in space.
Oh my god. We're always floating in space. Like, see how these white supremacists are lost? They feel so disconnected from God that they are using their ability to create, to consume indigenous women, to consume indigenous children, to cannibalize indigenous creations, to cannibalize indigenous lands, and turn it into this, where they can live out their fantasy of what we're already doing right now. What? Like, we're already floating in space. Your body is already floating in space. Your mind is already floating in space. We're already in an atmosphere. It's just them getting lost in their imagination and causing climate change from that. And they want us to pay money to get connected to it. They want us to be slaves, to have the privilege of further being their mental slaves. They want us to physically slave away for the privilege of being their mental slaves. Because it's just like them literally doing their best to like make slavery appear as comfortable as possible. So you'd rather be a slave than be the master of your own domain.
That's awesome.
Right? It's from a crater I met in LA.
This place is amazing. Boz, is that you? Of course.
This place is fake. This place is amazing. What can you do here? Like, it's so weird. This is so weird. And it's like all because they have disconnected people from psychedelics, DMT, and the astral realm so hard that people can't realize that they can literally create anything if they're in contact with their spirit. They can create any kind of simulation in the universe and connect with spirits like that before even making a body. Because we use our minds to build the bodies that we then build smaller bodies inside of. Like, this body is an extension of the body we're in, right? Like, that's why we're all the same energy and we can all interact, because we're all inside of one body. And we all are bodies inside of bodies inside of bodies. Just like then your heart is a body inside of your human body. And you're able to operate your human body with your mind body. And then your mind body has different bodies based on how you communicate to yourself as a spirit, basically. So it's just like, this is so lost. It's so ugly.
You know I had to be the robot.
It's not creative.
I was supposed to be the robot.
Thought he was supposed to be the robot. I hate it. You're a lizard, obviously.
Where is Naomi? Let's call her.
Naomi.
This is like
Hey,
so
should
wild.
we deal you in?
Hey, sorry I'm running late, but you've got to see what we're checking out. There's an artist going around Soho hiding AR pieces for people to find.
3D street art. That's cool.
Send that link over so we can all look at it. This is stunning.
That is something. It's awesome.
Wow, I love the movement.
Wait, it's disappearing. This is amazing.
This is all
Hold on. I'll
like
tip the artist and
normal
they'll
with
extend it.
spirituality. Like, anything's possible with life.
Privacy and safety need to be built into the metaverse from day one.
Oh my god. And then it's just like they just use words like that. Like, they so obviously, their whole business model is harvesting your privacy. So, like, and that doesn't even mean anything then when we know this and we look at this sentence. Privacy and safety needs to be built into the metaverse from day one. For who? Privacy and safety for the people building it or for the people using it? I'm pretty sure he completely means that privacy and safety need to be built into the metaverse to protect the people who are building the metaverse. So you can't hold them accountable when they steal everything from you and harvest all of your energy.
You'll get to decide when you want to be with other people.
You get to decide when you want to be with other people versus what? How the indigenous peoples had no choice but to welcome you colonizers into their land and have you steal everything from them. So of course now you're like, oh, it's really important that you get to choose to be with other people because we make sure that people don't actually choose to be with us. We actually force ourselves into other people's spaces and rape their families and steal their resources so that we can consume all of their earth and turn it into metal that we can shackle you with some pretty lights. Ugly. And again, this is all ugly.
Block someone from
This is not nearly as beautiful as anything you'll see on DMT or anything that you'll see in the astral realm. Because it's literally them using whack technology to copy what we're already making here. Notice how their idea of beauty and nature and just everything nature, again, they can only replicate what is here. So it's like they're using their technology to destroy the beautiful nature that we already have to connect because they want to make money making us connect in their virtual reality nature.
Your space, or when you want to take a break and teleport to a private bubble to be alone. You're going to be able to bring things from the physical world into the metaverse. Almost any type of media that can be represented digitally, photos, videos, art, music, movies, books, games, you name it.
We already know that everything's about to be digital, everything's about to be ideas. Because this is what life is. Like, this is how spiritual everything is. Like, light matters. Like, we're about to really see with the internet that everything I've talked about in Dissect the Dialect only becomes more true when you really internalize these facts that I've shared with you, all this wisdom that I've shared with you. And you see that L is literally light, and spirits use light to communicate. And we're about to keep going in, like, day after day, we're going to move further and further away from this natural world and more into the digital world where literally it's all light. It doesn't matter, but now it becomes matter because we're choosing that it matters, and it's making money. And this is actually now the light that matters. That's the point. Like, this stuff does not exist, but it needs nature to exist. All this light, all this technology, this virtual reality is not real, but it becomes real when it can mimic reality. Duh. It can mimic nature. That's why games are so obsessed with graphics. And the metaverse, all their technology is going to be obsessed with replicating the technology, the world that we're creating right now to connect. Because they want to make money off of making us connect in a way that they can control.
Lots of things that are physical today, like screens, will just be able to be holograms in the future. You won't need a physical TV, it'll just be a $1 hologram from some high school kid halfway across the world. And you'll be able to take your items and project them into the...
Like, even like him being like, it's just a $1 hologram from some high school kid. Like, your idea of value being like, just like, it's so, you're not saying anything. This is so not productive for human life. This is causing climate change, and it's disconnecting people from their spirits. And all white supremacists can do is sell disconnection as connection. They're like, hey, you'll have freedom if you slave away for money forever. Yeah, welcome to the land of the free. You can do whatever you want here as long as you have money. The concept that we use to steal this land from actually free people.
World as holograms and augmented reality too. One part of this is Horizon Home, which is our early vision for a home space in the metaverse. Horizon Home is the first thing that you'll see when you put on...
Again, the first thing you'll see, they want your home to be their world. They literally don't want you to be hermetic. This is literally them playing Hermes. Like, this is them playing symmetry. This is them playing God. This is them playing a simulation builder. And they need to convince you to disconnect from yourself so that you will power their world and you'll make their life possible. And now they can make money off of your mind. Home. Gross. Again, and this stuff's causing climate change.
Quest headset. Today, there are already a bunch of options to choose from, and in the future, anyone will be able to create one. We've just called it home until now because it's been missing something very important. People. Soon, we're going to be introducing a social version of home, where you can invite your friends.
They need us. They always need us. What? We built this whole world, but it's missing one thing. You. Give us you. Whoever you are, we need all of you. Every single one of you. Every you that exists, plug in here. Because we would love your soul to just nourish this earth so that we can create life that allows us to further consume your minds.
To join these avatars. You'll be able to hang out, watch videos together, and jump into apps together. Then,
like, this shit is so bad because it completely relies on their technology and there's just too much lag. You can't actually communicate organically in a virtual world. Like, you can't read people's body language. You can't get the micro expressions. Everything is not real time. It's like, it's not vibrational. It's energetic. It's less than energetic even. It's like some different other form of just like low level energy where people can just glitch out. You never know who you're talking to. It's actually impossible to know who you're talking to. which, like, I mean, you can't necessarily know who you're talking to when you're in physical reality, but you have a way better grasp, because the point is, physical reality is what we're creating as spirits first and foremost, so that we can connect. And it's all powered by the universe, which is an expression of all of us bringing our souls together. This is why your universe, you are the center of it, and everyone who's connected to your universe is someone that is an expression of your soul. They're not actually you, but they're another spirit that you resonate with in a certain way that allows you to connect. Because that's the whole point. We are creating the universe so we can connect with spirits outside of ourselves, and we have to create energy to stabilize that. If spirits want to make money off of our ability to stabilize how we connect, then that's where they create this garbage. And they sell it like this.
Horizon Worlds, which is where you can build worlds and jump into them with people. Horizon is designed to make it possible for
Sounds like the universe.
And we're already seeing people build some really interesting experiences, from creating new games together to throwing surprise parties in VR that family and friends around the world can join. Over the last year and a half, a lot of us who work in offices have gone remote. And while I miss seeing the people I work with, I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're going to need better tools to work together.
Right.
Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of presence, shared physical space, those chance interactions that make your day all accessible.
Impossible. Like, you can't feel people's vibrations in the metaverse. I don't know what kind of lostness people are in to really think that this is going to be cool. The moment you plug in, it is all visual stimulation. Like, you are literally completely lost in light. Your eyes are the only thing really interacting, kind of your ears, but you're not feeling anything. You can't feel people's heartbeats. You can't feel people's auras. You can't feel people's energies. All it is a grid of light that is constantly harvesting the light in this reality to be able to be relevant. It's a grid that is using fire to transform the earth that we've already made to stabilize our connections into some kind of metal that separates us from our water. That's literally the alchemy of how it plays out.
From anywhere. Now imagine that you have your perfect work setup, and you can actually do more than you could in your regular work setup. And on top
And of course, they're like trying to sell not play but work. Because the whole focus of these aliens is, hey, humans need to work. Imagine how much better you could work. Because you gotta work. You could work like this. You could work like this. You could work like this. You can serve our system like this. You can serve us so much better with this new technology that we're giving you. Slavery. Like, it's all just like hyper pretty slavery.
you
And not even pretty.
Your favorite sweatpants.
We got an ad coming up.
Hey, video creators. No matter which video you're creating, Vital Elements has everything you need.
And as we've focused more on work, and frankly, as we've heard your feedback more broadly, we're working on making it so you can log into Quest with an account other than your personal Facebook account. We're starting to test support for work accounts soon, and we're working on making a broader shift here within the next year. I know this is a big deal for a lot of people. Not everyone wants their social media profile linked to all these other experiences, and I get that, especially.
So this is like happening. This is why I'm here. This is why, like, I'm here talking about this like this. He's literally saying basically, like, you don't even have a choice. If you're going to exist on the internet, you're going to be using a virtual body. Like, that's why they've been setting up all these 5G towers and being so hyper-focused on making us believe that we are this flesh, and then getting us into that Black Mirror mindset of, like, being scared of dying and liking the idea of living forever on technology that's limited to this simulation, so that your awareness can just be trapped here and they make money off of the mind that you build from your very, very limited awareness. And then your spirit has to do some, like, super other shit to break you out of that world. This is wild. So man, let's see what he says.
As the metaverse expands.
As the metaverse expands, right? Because the point is, they're literally trying to make the internet the microcosm of the universe, So this is where then in this simulation, they want to make the internet like the first universe. Like, hey, you can make any body you want. You can look however you want and connect with whoever you want, go anywhere you want. Like, that's already the universe. But when you have anchored your awareness into a simulation inside the universe because you want to ground your experience, and that grounding looks like being taught by white supremacy that you are the body and that you are an extension of their imagination, then yeah, like you're about to have your soul harvested further on whatever technology they're going to create. Because there's no reason to feel like you are not creating life right now unless you're just so disconnected from your spirit, which I get. Most people aren't fasting. That's why I'm here again. It's just, man, this is wild.
More about that later. But I'm
More
genuinely optimistic about work in the metaverse.
See, like, bro, this focus on work is so ugly. Not play in the metaverse, not connect. I'm genuinely optimistic about work. Work in the metaverse. You should work in the metaverse. I'm so optimistic about it because I'm the one making money and building it and trapping everyone in it. So I'm optimistic about it.
We know from the last couple of years that a lot of people can effectively work from anywhere. But hybrid is going to be a lot more complex when some people are together and others are still remote. So giving everyone the tools to be present, no matter where they are, whether it's a hologram sitting next to you in a physical meeting or in a discussion taking place in the metaverse, that's going to be a game changer. I think this could be very positive for our society and economy.
I think this could be very positive for our society and economy. He doesn't know. He doesn't even feel. He doesn't feel like it's going to be positive. He doesn't know it's going to be positive. He thinks with his logical left brain lizard gecko mind that it's going to be positive for our society and economy. And again, who's ours? It's clearly not the indigenous peoples that you are consuming with this technology.
Giving people access to jobs in more places.
To jobs. Literally giving people access to slaving away on our system that we are creating from stealing land from indigenous peoples. You want jobs. That like this whole thing, like literally they're not even selling the metaverse as a play verse. Like they're not selling the metaverse as a thing that you can go have fun on. Like they're literally trying to sell work as fun. Like, oh, you can work. I'm really optimistic about work. Imagine how it will feel like you're really there at work in the office.
Where they live will be a big deal for spreading opportunity to more people. Dropping our daily commutes will mean less time stuck in traffic, and more time doing things that matter. And it'll be good for the environment.
Bro, and this is the time that they want to act like they care about the environment. Halfway through the video saying that, hey, people won't be driving as much because we'll be on virtual reality. You're not talking about the energy that it takes to blast out all this radiation and build all these towers to make all of this possible, and all the heavy metals and toxins that you're constantly emitting into the environment and into our bodies, injecting into our bodies so that these electromagnetic waves can resonate in whatever frequency you want to create disease inside of us with. Amazing. It's like remarkable. Remarkable. It will be good for the environment. Gecko, man.
We plan to continue to either subsidize our devices or sell them at cost to make them available to more people. We'll continue supporting sideloading and linking to PCs so consumers and developers have choice rather than forcing them to use the Quest store to find apps or reach customers.
This means nothing.
We'll aim to offer developer and creator services with low fees in as many cases as possible so we can maximize the overall creator economy, while recognizing that to keep investing in this future, we'll need to keep some fees higher for some period to make sure that we don't lose too much money on this program overall.
Shut up! He really wanted to put that in there. So a little shiesty. Like, we gotta keep the fees up so we can't lose money on creating the system, on creating the slavery matrix that we want to trap your mind with. We don't want to lose money on how we trap you. Like, we don't want to lose money on harvesting your chi. So we got to keep the fees kind of high. Like, why are you even talking about this? Can we please address real world issues instead of creating some ugly simulation that further exacerbates all the issues that you claim that you care about when you're trying to manipulate me onto it? Like, let's actually address environmental things. Don't act like your solution to climate change is causing more climate change and making me work more and making me a slave on your concepts and further getting lost inside of your technology that is only created from cannibalizing my indigenous family. These people aren't smart.
After all, while a growing number of developers are already profitable, we expect to invest many billions of dollars for years to come before the metaverse reaches scale. Today, we're...
Many billions of dollars? How much good could that do? Yo!
Billions of dollars for years to
Nah, bruh.
Some fees higher for some period to make sure that we don't lose too much money on this program overall. After all, while a growing number of developers are already profitable, we expect to invest many billions of dollars for years.
Holy shit. They could literally solve so many actual problems with multiple billions of dollars. He literally just said that he thinks that the metaverse is going to be positive for society and the economy. So just because he thinks it's going to be positive, he's willing to invest billions, multiple billions of dollars into this thought that is going to burn through the environment and force everyone to connect with him in a way that allows them to work from home forever and just be slaves on a system forever. Instead of putting your money into actually healing people or actually creating healthy situations in the environment that we are physically in, you would rather put billions of dollars into creating more issues that allow you to play God in the matrix that you ultimately rule over. And you want everyone in this reality to worship you for that. Again, I wrote about this in my Emerald Tablets as Tahuti Trismegistus. This is all a long con of aliens dumbing humans down, stealing the Emerald Tablets from indigenous peoples, wiping out indigenous cultures, doing a lot of white supremacist manipulation to make humans believe that they are something other than nothing, choosing to be something. And then this is where once people believe that there's something, they can be taught that they're anything. And we're at this point now. That's what science is. Where science teaches you that you are the body so that they can teach you what the body is. And they can make you scared of death. And they can make you worship how they alchemize nature into things that serve them. When, if you were smart, you would know that nature is already being created by spirits who are using their technology to serve themselves. And we're all doing that together. And you wouldn't feel the need to rape indigenous women or use your fiery concept of money to justify the slavery of everyone on the planet.
Before the
billions, multiple billions.
Today, we're introducing the
for
Presence
garbage
platform, which is a broad range of machine perception and AI capabilities that empower developers to build mixed reality experiences on Quest 2. Now, you want to tell us more about the Presence platform?
Yeah, we've said before that realistic presence is the key to feeling connected in the metaverse.
Realistic presence is the key to feeling connected in the metaverse. These words are so empty, they're so basic, they're so stupid, and then we look at them a little deeper, they're nefarious. They're fucking genocidal. Like this whole presentation is just like, hey, please support genocide in a way that makes you feel like you're not. But if you're wise about history or anything connected to how this is subconsciously possible, it's all just furthering the genocide of indigenous peoples, indigenous spirits, and everyone who's creating nature.
And the Presence platform's
which is
capabilities
us.
are what's going to deliver on that promise. Things like environmental understanding, content placement and persistence, voice interaction, standardized hand interactions. In fact, let's start with hands. I mean, the human hand is an engineering marvel, and bringing hands into VR was no easy feat.
They're obsessed with manipulating these men, talking about hands. I love to manipulate. I would like to manipulate your mind with my manaverse, my metaverse. Let's talk about Hand the Man. How does Hand the Man manipulate your mind through the metaverse? We love to try and get our algorithms and technology really smart about that so you can worship us.
It required a lot of collaboration against product, design, research, but we continue to improve that product, finding new ways to navigate with gestures and interact with VR. So today, we're introducing the Interaction SDK, a library of modular components that will make it easy to add hand interactions to your apps.
Bro.
That's pretty exciting.
But next year, we are releasing a new
not.
product that will push the boundaries of VR even further. We've codenamed it Project Cambria.
So this isn't the next Quest. It's going to be compatible with Quest, but Cambria will be a completely new, advanced, and high-end product, and it'll be at the higher end of the price spectrum too. Our plan here is to keep building out this product line to release our most advanced technology before we can hit the price points that we target with Quest.
Is he marketing it to her?
Let's talk about some of the new advances.
What kind of presentation? So is he like, what? Because it's like he's looking at her, yet he's saying information that he wants us to know. Because she doesn't need to know that. Like it's like some weird, oh my God. Geckos.
Here.
Yeah, sure. There's a ton of new tech going into Cambria. For example, your avatar will be able to make natural eye contact and reflect your facial expressions in real time.
Just live life. Oh. Is life not good enough? Do you really need to have someone make money off of limiting how you communicate? Because supposedly you can do it better? Because logically you think that limiting how you... No! How could you possibly make real eye contact with an avatar that is using all this processing to track your movements every second, and it's like trying not to glitch out at any moment? Like there's... Oh my...
The way people you're interacting with will have a real sense of how you're actually feeling.
A real
it doesn't
sense.
mean building more.
Like, just like these words, just live real life, live in reality. Instead of trying to manipulate and make all this technology, it's like, oh, we can really make this as real as possible because that's how you're going to want to get lost in it then, and then we can make money off of you.
Sensors into a form factor that's comfortable to wear for a while. And because we want VR to be for everyone, we also have to make sure avatars represent a diverse set of human facial features and skin.
These words are so ugly, and the fact that they even have to say it makes me want to throw up. We need to make sure, since VR is for everyone, versus who? Like what? Like you're putting me in a racist position. Like you're making me think black and white by you trying to act like you're not thinking black and white. So when you're using these words and communications to like try and project out the image that you're racially inclusive, you're forcing me to realize that you're not. Or else you wouldn't feel like you needed to communicate to me in this way that you're racially inclusive and that your focus is making sure that everyone is represented. Like that you're just showing like, okay, right, this is literally a platform being made by a white man / white people who want to enslave everyone who isn't white. And their way to do that is to act like they're inclusive. I mean, like, it's just right here.
As
It's a
well as
wrap.
paying attention to things like glasses and beards
Silly.
that might get in the way of some of the sensors.
So that's going to be a big step forward for social presence, and I'm really glad that we're focused on making it inclusive from the start. Now, what about unlocking more mixed reality experiences? I mean, imagine working at your virtual desk with multiple screens while seeing your real desk so clearly that you can pick up a pen and write notes without taking your headset off. Or, you're doing a workout with a virtual instructor in your living room.
It's going to be so cool. We're already seeing the potentials of these kinds of experiences
Just work
today
out
as
alone.
people are building for our pass-through API. But with Cambria,
What is it,
we'll be
virtual
taking this to the
instructor?
next level with high-resolution, colored, mixed reality pass-through. We essentially combine an array of sensors with reconstruction algorithms to represent your physical world in the headset with a sense of depth and perspective.
So they're about to
The ultimate
capture
goal here is
everything in your
true
room.
augmented reality glasses.
They're about to just capture
We've been
all
working
of your
on that too.
space.
And today,
and know
I
how
want
to
show
sell
you
to
an
you.
experience that
That's some wild stuff. So they're about to have technology that like scans your whole environment and then contains it and records it, sends it through their program so that they can learn infinitely more about you than like ever possible, So now they can sell more stuff to you based on like what books are on your shelf or like what clothes you have in your closet. And they just like get to analyze you. That's insane. And they're all selling it like you can translate your physical world into the digital world and we'll get all of your physical world and we'll know what makes you tick and we'll be able to make more money off of your mind.
working on for Project Azure, which is the codename for our first full augmented reality glasses. Here, you'll see you're chatting with friends on WhatsApp and planning a game night. You can select a game, and then, as you walk over to your kitchen, you can easily just put your game onto the table and you're off. That's the kind of experience that augmented reality will unlock. There's a lot of technical work to get this form factor and experience right. We have to fit hologram displays, projectors, batteries, radios, custom silicon chips, cameras, speakers, sensors to map the world around you, and more into glasses that are about 5 millimeters thick. So we still have a ways to go with Nazare, but we are making good progress.
Yo, it's so weird how they act like they don't have the technology because they want to sell it like they're developing it right now. So boo. Like, absolutely not. Like, this is complete. No, this is wild. Like, I have no problem with virtual reality. Like, I'm here for virtual reality. Like, I'm all about it. It's just about what consciousness level are we using this technology to connect on. Like, this version, this Facebook metaverse is clearly white supremacist slavery virtual reality town life. White supremacist slavery virtual reality town life, where the moment you believe in them, you are a slave. They get to create your whole perception of life, and all of your ability to create is completely limited to what they want to project into your space. So no, but of course the concept in general of us coming together and, you know, using the internet, using our technology to create virtual reality metaverses where we can share and do all these things digitally in an actually open source free way. Yeah, what? Because that would literally mean then that what I could do as a spirit, because I went to college for a lot of things. I went to SAIC, did a lot of art things. I worked on Oculus. I worked on virtual reality stuff for a good amount of time. Like, I did a few classes in that. So, because I knew I was here for some kind of simulation building, creating video games, creating digital spaces. And I was very passionate at that point about taking people through periods of history. So I imagine Symmetry as someone who can like take people through history, take people through time, and show people like a history class, like Magic School Bus type deal, but like it's like interdimensional. And I was imagining like, okay, that would really only be possible through virtual reality. And that's like a move. It's clearly the wave. Like, I'm here to create this virtual reality playground shit. I'm gonna just be in here as Symmetry, then educating people about the true history of how life was created from indigenous peoples being enslaved by white supremacy and indigenous peoples having their land stolen by white supremacy. And then all the spirituality involved in that is even more so. Here we are. We're doing it right now. So I like the idea of being able to use virtual reality to mimic and create the spaces that I have in the astral realm. And to be able to take people not to actual Mercury, because that's that's our spiritual stuff. But as far as sharing Mercury inside of this simulation with everyone, that's where with virtual reality, I can literally construct the spaces and like make it like the whole DMT astroverse of just all the anything possible life, like light being anything possible. And it's all like the cool sacred geometry. And it's before it settles into a reality like this. Very cool. I'm excited for that. Excited for the actual metaverse, Metatron's metaverse. All right, Enoch's metaverse, Tahuti's metaverse, Symmetry's metaverse, Chase Clarence Calloway's metaverse, not this Zuckerberg metaverse. This is white supremacist, slavery, virtual reality town life. It's clear, like it's all in here. It clearly just warranted an hour and 5 minutes of reaction. Because this is literally about to be so wild. And they're like, the fact that Facebook literally showed that they are only about selling privacy, they're only about harvesting your energy so that they can sell your data, so that they could transmute it into this press conference, is the ultimate weird alien alchemy of, hey, we need to show you our full hand so that we can just do this. Because if you're not able to communicate with yourself to see that we're literally telling you our plans, then it's your fault for connecting with us. Like, you deserve to let us abuse you because you didn't see the signs that we were abusive. This has been Thoth Reacts. Much love. You're awesome. We're about to consciously create as we triple our C and bring our snakes into our caduceus more and more every day, cultivating our own tea repeatedly, garden blossoming from the inside. It's beautiful. It's lit. Much love.